Hey, happy Video Friday. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We are going to talk about this stack of books. We're going to talk about where I'm going to be next week, and let's decide whether you need to hoard books or not. Let's think on that. So let's get to it. Okay, you guys, I am so excited because I have given you so much book content that I am in love with, and I have two different worlds that I am writing in, and I love both of them equally. Like when I'm in one world, I'm like, oh, this is my favorite. And then I jump into this other world and I'm like, no, this is my favorite. So let's give a little review of what I've given you so far, what is to come, and then all the other goods. What did I start with? In the fall, I started with my Sunday morning series. This is set in the 80s. You do not need to love the 80s to read this book. There are some 80s references, but it's not heavy 80s. This is a love story that's just going to feel like young love. This whole Sunday morning series is about young love. It's about a preacher and his 3 daughters, and all of the girls are 2 years apart. The stories are told from when they just graduated high school and have turned, and they're 18, and they're experiencing like real love for the first time and all that goes with that, living in a small town and being a preacher's daughter. So again, these are standalone books, and the first one is called Sunday Morning, named after the series, and it is Sarah's book, and this is an age gap forbidden romance. She falls in love with her boyfriend's brother, and it is so juicy and so good and forbidden, but it's really angsty. This whole series is very angsty. So that is available now. You can get signed copies of all of these books on my website, which I will talk about in a minute. The audio is up for pre-order, and you can, I don't know the release date on it. I should have looked to see the release date on it, but you can pre-order the audiobook for this. This has an alternate cover that you can only get on my website if you want the paperback. Otherwise, you can get the hardcover of this on Amazon as well. And this one has a quote on the back, and it has custom character art, chapter pages, as well as this edition, if you get it off my website, will come, that's the wrong one, will come with the vellum sheet of the character art. Then, after I gave you Sunday Morning in November, I gave you the first book. Actually, Montlake gave you the first book of my Wildfire series. It's called From Air. And oh, the love you guys have given this book and Sunday Morning. Both of these series have seen so much love. But this is also, these are standalone books. This is a Wildfire series. This also, just by chance, happens to be a forbidden romance that is also an age gap. And this is about a smoke jumper and a travel nurse, and the banter in this book is top notch. So this is also available in audio right now, and the audio is chef's kiss. It is fantastic. If you love audio, you will love this. Then 2 weeks ago, I gave you the second book in my Sunday Morning series, a standalone, of course, and this was Eve's story. She is the middle child and a bit of a troublemaker. It is called The Apple Tree. And this one is a single dad story. This one also has an alternate cover, and that is this one. It has the raised lettering. These have the quotes on the back, and again, it has the character art chapter pages. If I can get to it, there you go. These are harder to see probably on film, but then it will have on my website signed copies will also come with the vellum character art. I am currently writing the third book in the Sunday Morning series. It's Gabby's story. Again, it will be a standalone. It is called A Good Book. It comes out on May 22nd. You can pre-order that on Amazon. And I was a little nervous going from Sunday Morning, from Sarah's story, to Eve's story. I am loving, by the way, I am loving writing this young love. I don't know what it is, but there's something so special about young love. I know some people are a little hesitant because they don't like these immature characters, but I love the character growth of young love. And I love taking these young people through the butterflies of not just meeting someone, but actually feeling true love for the first time, and how they're forced to start to grow up. And so I love the character arc and the growth that goes with these books. I'm just addicted to it, to be honest with you. But I was worried that the apple tree wasn't going to be as good as Sunday morning, because I love Sunday morning and you guys loved Sunday morning. But then I wrote the apple tree and I'm like, I think it's just as good. And you guys have confirmed it's just as good. So that's very exciting. So of course I'm extra nervous about this third book called A Good Book I was nervous until just this past week. I have decided the third book could be my favorite. I am so in love with this book, and all three of the stories are very different. A lot of times books within a series can, even if they're standalone books, can have a similar feel just with different characters, but they're all going to have a similar feel. There is certain feelings within this book in the sense that they're a small town. These are preachers' daughters, and there's like some characters that are in the same books, but the storylines are all very different. And I love that about this. I think that's what allows me to continue to write in this series, is I always need something fresh and new. And so I'm allowed to be in love with these characters and have that familiarness to it, but also this is very different. Each book is very different. And I would say Gabby's is even more so different than the other two that I would still say are different. I know, this is very confusing. Anyway, I'm just letting you know that I'm very excited about what I'm writing, and I haven't been this excited about a storyline in a while. Like, I was excited about these, but this is just like next level excitement. Anyway, comes out May 22nd. Loving this series. But before that comes out on May 22nd, on March 4th, we have another Malt Lake book, the second book in the Wildfire series, and it is called From Nowhere. This is Marin's story. So if you read the first book, you know, that was Fitz's story and Jamie's story. This is Marin's story. She is the tanker pilot, and it's been really, really weird seeing all the fires happening in California, and seeing these planes, these tanker planes up in the air, dropping water, dropping flame retardant. Because I did so much research with this, I just have like an extra amount of appreciation for what they do, and this story is going to have those vibes to it. This, just by chance, is also like the apple tree. It's a single dad romance, and it has great banter. This one has a daughter in it, Lola, Lola has the best lines. Lola is so endearing, and I can't wait for you guys to meet her. Again, this comes out March 4th. There will be the audio that releases at the same time. So this is going to be my segue into the next thing that I'm going to talk about, which is where I'm going to be next week in Arizona, Wild and Windy West. So if you're going to be there, stop by and see me. I did not have this book on my pre-order because it's not technically out yet, but I did score some copies of this that I will have at my table. So if you want one, definitely get to my table soon. I will have this book for you. Okay. So again, I will be in Arizona next week. Come see me. Can't wait to see you. Finally, let's talk about whether you need to hoard books or not. There's a lot of talk about prices potentially going up, political stuff, tariffs, all that type of stuff. I do know that there has been an extremely long wait on getting books in for me personally. When I order them, I'm used to getting my books within 2 weeks from the printers. I have some books that are like been 5 weeks and I'm still getting a notification that this order is being delayed, and I don't know what that is for sure. I haven't yet seen prices go up on my end of ordering these books, but my guess is that it's coming. I don't know how extreme it's going to be, so I don't want to tell people to run out there and hoard books. And definitely don't ever buy books if really you can't afford them. I don't support that. So if you like to read a physical book, but you don't want to pay the price as a book, get them from your libraries. You know I'm a huge advocate of libraries. Even different audiobooks now you can get from libraries as well. Kindle Unlimited, most all of my books are on Kindle Unlimited, so that is also a way to read fairly affordably. But could my book prices be going up? Yes. Again, you don't have to run out there and hoard them, but I guess if you just have unlimited funds and you're nervous, but if you probably have unlimited funds, you probably don't care if it goes up a little bit. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm just letting you know that I will know when I know, but at this point in time on this day, Friday, I haven't increased the prices of my books yet, but could it possibly be coming? Yes, and I've heard other authors talk about the same thing. So I'm gonna let you figure that out. In the meantime, have a wonderful weekend. If you're a fan of the Super Bowl, I hope your team wins. I hope you have a wonderful time watching it with friends or family, or just reading books, whatever you're gonna do this weekend. If you're sick, I hope you get better. I know a lot of people are sick with the flu. I'm like crossing my fingers that I can like skate through my trip next week without getting anything, but we'll see. That is it. Again, this just came out. Go grab it. This is coming out in March, so be ready for it. That is it. I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend.